Hello everyone. Welcome to this video about Apify and web scraping. Today we're going to discuss how Apify's platform empowers its users to overcome the common challenges present when performing web extraction and automation tasks. The web is the greatest source of data ever created, but extracting structured data at scale is extremely complicated due to the lack of available APIs, blocking techniques, and rate limiting employed by websites, the dynamic nature of the content itself, and the simple fact that the web is always adapting and changing. Consistency and reliability is always a challenge when attempting to fully utilize the web as a data source. So let's start with a high level of what is web scraping and crawling. Web crawling is the process of programmatically identifying websites, storing the URLs for extraction later. Web scraping is the rendering of those websites and extraction of the data present on the pages. So keep in mind, all of this has to be done in a programmatic way which avoids website detection and the subsequent limiting and blocking employed by the websites. Most anything that a human can do sitting at a laptop using their web browser, a script or program can do it as well. Think of it like a digital version of copying and pasting data, except instead of doing it manually, the computer does it for you and at speed and scale. For example, if you wanted to gather all the pricing and product details from every listing on an e-commerce site, you'd have to open all the pages manually, copy and paste the price and description and the stock of each product page to some table. This would take hours. Instead, you can hire a web scraper to do it for you. Apify's platform excels at both extraction and automation. It provides an easy-to-use, scalable solution that simplifies the complexities of web scraping. By offering pre-built functionality we call actors, proxy services, and the ability to build a program to meet your custom needs, the platform reduces the technical barriers that many encounter when trying to extract and automate data collection tasks. Let's take a look inside the Apify platform. If you haven't done so already, you can sign up for free at apify.com. No credit card is required, and you get $5 of free credit to start scraping immediately. Let's navigate to the homepage where you can view all of your recent activity on the platform, such as recently viewed actors, actors suggested to you based on your historical usage, any recent conducted runs, as well as future scheduled runs, and lastly, any issues that you've raised on the actor level. Okay, let's navigate over to the store. Here's where you can find those actors. We have 2,000 pre-built actors available for web scraping and automation tasks. There are many different categories of actors. They are pointed at many different types. All right, let's take a look in the store. This is where you can find those actors. We have 2,000 pre-built pieces of functionality ready to use. Each actor has a specific input, a specific schema, and a specific output. Actors are pointed at different data targets around the internet, or there are also some actors that are for a more generic purpose that can, with a little customization, can be set up to achieve some goal in automation or extraction. As you can see on the top, there's plenty of different categories of actors, and generally speaking, I recommend any new user to start exploring the store using our searches or through multiple different categories here. It's a good way to understand what kind of functionality exists, what you can pull off the shelf right away and get started scraping. As I said, some more generic actors towards the bottom here, utilizing some of our different libraries, be it Cheerio or Puppeteer, different library depending on what kind of website you're trying to extract from. And then lastly, at the bottom, we have some noteworthy community-based actors. So these are actors in which our community developers have chosen to not only publish on the store, but also monetize. And there's an endless amount of creativity that's being published on the Apify store on a regular basis from our community-based developers. Okay, let's navigate into an actual actor. We're going to look at Google Maps Scraper. Google Maps in general is a great starting place for many different use cases on the Apify platform, as it allows us to start geospatially and segment whatever we're trying to do geographically. So with this actor, or at this top, you can see we have, of course, the title, the technical name, in case you're trying to follow any technical path or communicate with our support team. Any of the concurrent users, stars, which are much appreciated based on the user's experiences. and of course, who is maintaining it, the developer maintaining, and also is it maintained by Apify or the community. High level, you can get a quick description of the actors here. And furthermore, we have plenty of information in the information page, which we'll get to momentarily. Our input page is what you'll be engaging with the actor for setup before hitting run. The information page is where all of the information about the actor lives, such as what it does, tips and tricks on how to use it, examples of inputs, sometimes some information about how much it will cost, some best practices and examples of outputs, as well as in times some very helpful tutorials and FAQs. So please be sure to look at your information page for any information before you're starting your runs. All right. On the runs page, you would be able to see any of the previously concluded runs. Of course, this is a demo account, so we don't have any, but we will see some soon. Builds allows you to monitor the change in the actual actor through the builds. Integrations page, which we will also get to a little later, is where you can manage the integrations on the particular actor. Monitoring allows you to monitor, as you'd expect, any of the activities of the actor, be it results, alerts, any of the downtime, duration, what has been stored or passed from the actor, so on and so forth. The issues page allows you to post issues, to communicate with the developers directly, and share any of the issues that you're experiencing on the actor, and also allows you to manage the communication between developer and user. As you can see, there's plenty of open and closed. Apify and also our community developers work tirelessly to make sure that these issues are resolved as soon as possible. Lastly, you have your saved tasks section, which we will also get into a little bit later. Okay, let's set up our actor. In the input page, you can see there's a user interface that you can engage with the actor. Also, you can do so via the code editor, via this JSON box here. But let's begin today with finding reviews for particular restaurants in a certain location, which we will then feed into another actor to do some post-processing and give us some sentiment analysis on said reviews. All right, so we can, of course, add multiple different search terms here via the bulk edit function. But today I'm just going to use one, and that will be pizza place, or pizza, just pizza. What is the geographic location? We will do New York. And the number of a number of locations I want returned, let's do 100. All right, now the Google Maps scraper has a lot of different options in terms of filtering your results. As you can see here, we won't be using all of them in this example, but just to go over them quickly, we will be using the scrape inside places. So this allows the scraper to extract business locations inside of malls, for example. There's a lot of information here that I don't need back, but we could be collecting images, for example, of particular posts or reviews, or search the web as well. But for this use case, we're going to avoid those things. Deep City Scraper allows you to scrape more thoroughly in particular areas. We will use that just so that we can get back more results. And in terms of the star rating on the return reviews, we want, let's say, all different ratings. And let's do 100 reviews per location returned. And we're going to do with September 1st so that all of the reviews that are returned are relevant or new. And we don't need to filter on any keywords particularly. We're interested in just general sentiment about the restaurant or pizza place. Now, do we want to extract questions? No, we don't need to today. Define the search area. This allows for the user to select where exactly they would like to search through a lot of different options. So, we can select on country, for example, if you like, the individual city again, which we did at the beginning of the page here. Any of these other granular geographic spaces, or even more interesting, you can create your own polygon through latitude and longitude. We're going to go with just New York, which should be sufficient. I think there's going to be at least 100 pizza places in New York. So moving on, we have the filters and categories. This is a great function within the Google Maps scraper, and we're going to utilize these business labels that the actual business owner prescribes to their point of interest on Google to help focus our results. So pizza restaurant, we'll go with that. Now, do I need it to match the search terms exactly? No, it doesn't need to. And do I want all different types of stars associated with the review? Yes, I want all of them. And I will also skip closed places, as this is a analysis of open business locations. I could utilize a direct URL that was generated on the Google Maps platform, but we're going to be utilizing just our search terms today. And this last function is for a more broad stroke if I'm trying to collect as many business locations as possible across large geographies. Not applicable for this use case. Lastly, we have the run options at the bottom. This will come in almost all of the actors. It allows you to set up a hard stop through either timeout in terms of seconds or the amount of memory that your actor is consuming. We'll just stick with the default settings here, and we can save the actor. Now, before we hit start, I'm going to show you how to integrate this actor with the next step in our data processing pipeline. So at the top of the page here, you can create a task. Now what this does is it saves this actor and categorizes it as a task rather than an individual actor that we can then modify or connect in a larger data pipeline. So let's call it Google Maps Scraper Pizza Demo. And we're going to copy the input that we've done here as a setup so that it's available on the task. Okay, now that we have the task created, we can start to set up, for example, let's start with a scheduler. So I want to know I want to get these reviews and run an analysis on these reviews on a monthly basis, let's say. Review data gathered monthly about pizza restaurants or pizza places. Could be a pickup stand, right? About pizza places in the New York area, New York City area. All right, we're going to run it every single month. I could set up a particular start time, but it's not important to me in this example. Okay, next, let's connect the output provided by this actor with another actor so that we can provide some sentiment analysis on the reviews themselves. So if we go to the Integrations tab, we can set up an actor-to-actor integration. You can see that available here, but there are also several different actors which Apify recommends that can be set up easily at the top of the page. Of course, you can search for any type of integration here, but we're going to go with the AI text analyzer for Google reviews. Now we're on the AI text analyzer input page. Similar to the Google Maps input page, this is a UI that we can engage with to set up the actor. Also the information page, which again gives you all the tips and tricks on how to perform scrapes with this actor. The AI text analyzer was built by Genia, a company and community developer on the Apify platform, with the intention to integrate this with the Google reviews that we're getting from Google Maps Scraper. So this information page contains quite a lot of information on how to set up this integration, which you can see here. Now, in terms of how we've set up this integration, we created a task. So these two actors are already linked together. And when any of these options are completed, so in our case, run succeeds for the Google Maps Scraper, the next actor will perform. So we have plenty of other options here that we could choose from, but in our use case, we will be passing extracted data from the Google Maps scraper over to the AI text analyzer. And due to the task that we've set up, the source, the data set, is being passed automatically. In the case that we did not create a task, or that we've run previous historic scrapes and have extracted different reviews, but haven't done any of that post-processing, any of that sentiment analysis on top of the review, we could post here the specific dataset ID, which you can obtain from the Apify storage section over here on the left side of the screen. We will get into this a little later, but effectively you can utilize Apify's platform's infrastructure and our storage so that data sets that are saved and stored on the platform can be accessed and used later on. Now we're going to set up the sentiment analysis to with a persona on personality, and we'll focus on English language. And I'll leave this blank because we will analyze all the reviews that are passed over to this actor. Okay, let's hit save, and I'll title my integration, let's say review data pipeline. Review sentiment of pizza places in New York City. Now everything is set up, so let's create another integration so that we can receive the data after the runs complete. Here you can see all of the integrations that are being created on this particular actor, and we're going to add one more. And let's do a email output so that we're notified via email when the run completes and a file is shared. So once again, I'm going to name this integration something such as New York City pizza reviews output. Description: this is a list of reviews from New York City pizza places. All right, here's where I need to sign into Google. Do this quickly here. We've synced our Google account to our Apify account. Now let's set up an automated email to be sent after the conclusion of this data pipeline. Let's send it to any email that you like. And we can select JSON as the file type. Done. Now let's enable the integration and let's hit start. I'll just navigate back to the input page. You could hit start at the top there or down here. Now this should trigger our task and the data pipeline. Now here you can see that the run is beginning. The actor is spinning up. Let's open this up for some more details. What that means is that a program is beginning on the Apify platform on the server. We are utilizing, in this case, I believe Cheerio, to scrape Google Maps. And as you can see, we're starting to see the compute unit usage, the amount of memory that's being utilized to run the actor, and that's displayed here in a graph on the top right. Furthermore, you can see the run ID, the actor technical name, the container in which it exists in, and we're already getting some results. We have the overview section here that kind of summarizes all of the results, but you can select all fields, go only off of ratings, for example, or reviews, or select just the contact information. Now this actor will run for a certain amount of time. You can monitor the actor's runs either here in the run page or on the larger run page on your Apify account where you can see multiple runs happening at once. Once this run concludes, the next actor the text analyzer will begin. Now that the text analyzer actor is running, let's take a moment to look at the different monetization options on the Apify platform. What we have here in our marketing category are multiple different actors, which can be priced differently through different monetization schemes. You can see all of the different models up here in this drop-down window, where we have pay-per-result, pay-per-usage, and then also a rental. So if we take a look at pay-per-result, there's multiple different actors that you can see at the top here that all fall underneath this monetization scheme. What pay-per-result means effectively is that it is per result, as you'd imagine. So this actor here is $2.30 per 1,000 results. So whatever you search, whatever comes back, you are charged for. Pretty simple. Furthermore, we have pay per usage, and pay per usage is a bit different. Most of the actors in which are utilizing pay per usage, such as the Google Maps scraper or the extractor in which we just used, these are a little bit more ambiguous. So the inputs that the user can utilize can result in particular different outputs, and therefore it's better to have usage versus results. So what is usage? Usage is based off of a unit of measurement, which Apify has called a compute unit. Effectively, what a compute unit is the time in which it takes to run a actor or program on an Apify server, plus the amount of RAM memory associated with running that actor. We distill this into a unit of measurement, which we call a compute unit, which has an individual unit price per compute unit. And depending on which subscription model or plan, that you choose, you have a different unit price for compute unit. The third monetization scheme is rental. So generally what you see with rental is that you're going to have a rental fee at the beginning of the month. So in this case, we have $35, which then also is combined with typically usage. You don't see many actors that combine rental with PPR, pay per result, So this is a flat fee that's paid at the beginning of each month to utilize the actor. Now, every single actor, or certainly any community developer, can choose which monetization scheme they wish to use for their actor. And Apify has a mix of either PPR, pay per result, or pay per usage. I will also say that at the recording of this video, we have a third recurring monetization scheme soon to come, which we are calling pay per event. More information on that in the future. But effectively, what it'll be is, rather than pay per result being the output, pay per event will account for all different types of actions that a user could trigger. So this could be pay per query, for example, or pay per process, for some terms that might solidify the point. Now that our actors have completed, let's jump into the runs page and take a look at them. So here we are in the runs page, and you can see the two different actors and individual runs that were concluded. On the right side here, you can see the total duration was about 12 minutes for the entire data pipeline to process. This is quite long, actually, in comparison to some of the other use cases that we have, because the AI text analyzer is very thorough in its work. Also, you can see that the run that we initiated this process with, that being the Google Maps scraper, this was initiated by web, whereas the AI text analyzer was initiated by webhook, and that's the actor-to-actor integration that we set up. Okay, furthermore, you can see that the total usage associated with these individual runs, and then the number of results. But let's jump into the AI text analyzer, as the results here are the ones that are enhanced with a bit more of that data enrichment through sentiment analysis. All right, and here's the run. At the top, you can see, once again, some information about the individual run. If you jump into the pricing tooltip here, you could see a breakdown of the individual pricing if this was per usage. This actor is pay per result, so it'll be a pretty basic description. Just taking, it's $5 per 1,000 results. We have 314 results, therefore the end price. All right, now getting down into the actual data.
there's a few different ways that you can engage with this data in the platform. Of course, you can skip engaging with the data in the platform and set up any custom output integration, which can be done on this tab here. Or also you can export the data manually and then deal with it however you like outside of the platform. But for purposes of this demo, let's take a look at it here. In this section, you can see the title of the restaurant. Remember, we're doing pizza places, the total number of reviews, some high-level important data columns based on our use case. But if we want, we can look at all the fields that are returned here, which are quite a few. So this is all the fields that have been gathered via Google Maps, and then also some fields which have been enriched via the text analyzer actor. But if we go back to the overview section, that'll bring us what is most important in terms of this sentiment analysis use case. And that would probably be the number of stars, the text about the comment, and then, of course, the AI sentiment analysis, which is here, text analysis on the far right. So if I click on this field here, you can see that there's a certain breakdown in structured data. There's sentiment, labeling, and then language tags. And if I go to one of the, let's go to this one here, one of them with a comment in it, you can see that the language tags are being utilized. Okay, now I don't want to do it like that. You're gonna do a hard cut somewhere in the overview section. So in the overview section, this is more applicable for our sentiment analysis use case. And let's also view the data in JSON format. So in here, you can see that we've got the title of the pizza place, Domino's Pizza in this case, and then there'll be multiple different reviews based on the same title. The first review here, you can see doesn't have an actual text comment on the review. So you're getting a little bit less analysis going on here, but the second one here, you can see that there's text, and therefore the analyzer is going to provide language tags and also some sort of rating based on where that language is used in the text. And that's what you can see at the bottom. So each place will have a particular star and sentiment analysis. So this one has a neutral rating, whereas let's see if we can find one that's not so neutral. These here are positive ratings. So the sentiment of this would be positive. This is the best penne alla vodka I've had in my entire life from a pizza shop, worth every penny. That sounds pretty positive to me. Okay, so you can take all this data and export it. There are many different export options. As you can see here, you can select or omit fields that are of importance to you. And then you just hit download and you'll have that file locally. You can also, preview in a different tab, copy the link and share it with someone else. These run links can be copied and shared publicly, so they are available if or if not you have an Apify account. And then you also have the dataset ID, which can be used if you were to process this data again somewhere else on the Apify platform using our local storage.
I've taken the opportunity to run the task multiple times so that we can demonstrate the next portion of the Apify platform, that being our monitoring suite. Let's navigate over to the dashboards by clicking on the specific actor that we want to investigate. So once again, I'm going to choose the AI text analyzer because it is the last actor in our pizza demo task. And on the actor page, you can see the monitoring tab here. And getting into here, you can see a lot of different breakdowns on metrics via graphs. So total number of results, the statuses, the duration of your runs, the size of your data or the data sets, and the key value stores, among a few other interesting metrics as well at the bottom.
duration per result, for example, can be great, especially when you're talking about extracting a lot of data at scale. Or the number of dataset items, for example, is also quite useful. But that's just the information itself. What is very important and very useful in terms of our monitoring suite is that of the alerts that we can set up. So over here on the right, we can select to create a new alert. The alert name could be, let's say, pizza demo task, and I'm going to go failure, because this will be a monitoring alert to signify when the results, or when the task, fails, and therefore I won't get any results. So there's plenty of different options on what triggers a monitoring alert. This one I will use status, and I will select failed. Then how do I want to be notified? Let's go with an email, and we'll type in my email here. Save and enable. Great. If we go back to the monitoring suite, you'll see here where you can enable or disable particular alerts. Some other useful alerts could be the usage threshold. So if you have a certain amount of usage you've budgeted for, you can set up an alert to tell you when a certain threshold of your usage has been consumed on the platform, giving you a heads up that you're consuming possibly faster than you had projected, or so be it. Although there are many different ways to achieve one's goal using the actors present on the Apify store, and many actors themselves are being developed at all times, not only through Apify, but also through our community developers, it is likely or possible that the functionality in which you require is not present on the store. But do not worry, you can utilize Apify in the platform to build your own actors. So let's take a look at how you do that. If you navigate over to the actors page, and in the top right of your screen, develop new. Here you're brought to our create your actor page. And you can select from many different code languages and libraries through some of these templates to get your project started quickly. Of course, you can code from the ground up, but also you can utilize any of these code templates that are available on the platform. And you can see there are many of them here based on language, library, and browsers. Furthermore, you can connect an external repository via this button here, or you can connect any work that's been done locally through your CLI. And we're going to take a look at how to do that now, connecting our CLI to the Apify platform and starting a project locally and then pushing it to the platform. First and foremost, if you have any questions regarding setting up your computer, feel free to navigate to our docs page where you can find a step-by-step process on installation for your CLI. Now we're in our local terminal, and first let's make sure we have a package manager available to us. So we'll utilize Homebrew, and to check if you have Homebrew installed, enter in this command. Great. Of course, if you don't have it installed, you'll go through the process of installation now. But what we're going to do now is create an actor locally, which then we could edit, of course, and then we will push the actor to the Apify platform, and then lastly, we will call the actor remotely. So let's create an actor. First, we have to come up with a name. Apify create. Let's go with Apify demo actor. Apify demo actor. And now we're selecting which template we would like to use based on, we're selecting which language we would like to utilize. And we have the option, of course, to select any of the templates that are available on the Apify platform, as was showed earlier. Let's go with TypeScript and Cheerio Crawley. Installing the template now. Great. Now we're going to run the actor locally. To do so, Apify demo actor.
And we've begun the actor. Now, if we want to push the actor to the Apify platform, we simply use the command Apify push. And now the actor is being pushed to the platform. And if we navigate back to the Apify platform after this process is completed, we will see that our actor is there. All right, now we can find our actor under our own actor tab. And here's what we've pushed to the Apify platform. And of course, just like any other actor, we can utilize it on the Apify platform by hitting start here. Or of course, if we would like to do that in our CLI, we can use the Apify call command. Apify's platform has 3 types of storage. First and foremost is our dataset storage. This is where you can find any of your output datasets in multiple different file types, and you can easily access those files at any time via API or manually. You can quickly and easily export any of these by clicking on them and then selecting particular file type and hitting download. Furthermore, you can access them via API by using the dataset ID. Key value stores are used to store records of particular actor runs inputs and outputs, as well as progress of the specific runs. And they can be utilized or called upon to connect multiple different runs together, as we did earlier, among other things. Request queues storage contains specific URLs to be crawled. This allows for parallel crawling as well as prevents any duplicate work. If we take a look in a particular record, you can see all the specific URLs that were crawled. And at the top here, you can see some metrics such as 249 specific URLs that were crawled, and also the run and the actor and the task in which this request queue is referencing. All right, next let's move over into our proxy section. Apify's aggregated proxy management services is unique in its ability to aggregate multiple different proxy types as well as pools. This allows for redundancies and also higher reliability, as if particular proxies or IPs are banned, others can be used in their place. In our Proxy Management Services tab, you can see all of the usage for each of the proxy type. So we have data center proxies, residential proxies, and special or SERP proxies, all available to you, and you can manage how much usage you've had over time in terms of how much data has been processed through those IPs. Also, you can see the particular domains that have been utilized during any of the runs using those proxies, for example, and any of the groups that have been called during those runs as well. Moving over to our groups, there's a breakdown in which groups specifically you would like to use or you have access to. And then lastly, you have your HTTP settings where you can connect any of your proxy services to any other HTTP client. Lastly, you can connect any external proxy services to Apify's platform as well, if you so choose. In the settings page and the accounts tab, you can manage any information about your account, including any of the personal details you'd like to share about you. This can be very useful if you're a community developer and sharing information to your users about your journey, your company, so be it. You can also link any third-party external resources so that people can refer to your work or so be it elsewhere. And then lastly, you can also make your profile public and visible on the Apify domain. You can select a particular theme in which you'd like to use the Apify platform in, manage your logins or change your passwords, set up two-factor authentication, and so on. All right. In the API and integrations tab, you can manage any of your integrations that you've set up with third-party native integrations, or also access your API token here. In the organizations tab, you can manage any of the roles and permissions of the members of your organization. To convert your account to an organization, you simply Click here and set up an organization name and hit convert. Here you can see any of the members. You can add new members by sending invites via email here, and also assigning roles, read-only, developer, administrator. Notifications tab is where you can manage any of the notifications that the Apify console will be sending you. And lastly, you can set your privacy settings here in the privacy tab. All right, let's navigate over to the billing section. In your billing section, you can see any of the current consumption for your current billing period, as well as any of the historical usage, manage your subscription that you're on or upgrade, see the individual pricing available to your current subscription, manage any invoices, and then of course set some hard limits on your consumption. If we take a look at the current period tab, you can see any of the usage for this current billing period, which is displayed up here. And you can see a breakdown on costs per these particular categories. So if I click on the actors, you can see how much, what is the individual cost per actor that has been run. In the historical usage section, you can get a nice breakdown of all of the usage over time, either by days or months. And here, if I just simply hover over this bar, I can get a breakdown for that particular month as well for the costs. So per results, I was spending roughly $100, excuse me, and then my CU consumption was roughly $5, for example. You can also see all of that cost breakdown in the bottom here as well, per the particular month that you're interested in. In the subscription tab, you can see the current subscription plan that you're on, manage your payment methods, enter in particular billing details, and then also utilize any promo codes that you might have available to you. You can upgrade at any time via the upgrade button. And then the pricing allows you to see the current pricing on your current subscription plan per the particular unit pricing. Invoices allows you to manage any invoices that have been issued on your account and pay them. And lastly, limits allows you to set up particular limits on your account. So you can set up you can upgrade and set up the amount of data retention that you'd like. And then probably the most important being the hard limit that you can set to your account. So Apify has a unique ability to allow users to overuse the current subscription package that they have. However, you can set a hard limit by clicking here if I had a non-demo account to set my hard limit. This hard limit will stop your account from scraping anything further if it is reached. So any actor that's currently in progress will halt. However, that actor can be started again or resurrected if you so choose. To summarize, Apify empowers businesses and developers to tackle web scraping challenges by combining robust extraction techniques with powerful automation capabilities. Whether you're gathering market data, monitoring competitors, or performing academic research, Apify's platform is a valuable tool in ensuring you can scale and streamline your web-based data tasks and extraction. Thank you very much.